So the appointment of before we talk about today's Champions League games, Tottenham appointed a new interim manager replacing Thomas Frank, and bringing a new interim manager before until the end of the season basically, and his name is Tudor. Same manager that was sacked by Juventus this season. He managed Juventus. He's Croatian. He managed Magic Split in the Croatian league. He managed Lazio. He managed Marseille as well, and now he's managed Juventus, and now he's gonna manage Tottenham. I mean, I believe when he was managing Marseille, the team that knocked Marseille out of the Champions League group stages was Tottenham in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So quite ironic that he's going to manage Tottenham, the same team that knocked him out of the Champions League 3-4 years ago. But anyway, it's another story. But I think, do I think this is the right appointment? I mean, what's the attention for bringing him in? It's an appointment that he doesn't have a lot of experience in the Premier League. If you're going to bring an interim manager, you bring someone who brings a good atmosphere, who knows the club well, who knows the league well. You know, a bit like United do sometimes when they bring managers until the end of the season, or supposedly with Carrick, and supposedly it was supposed to happen with Ole. And something Darren Fletcher and Ryan Giggs as well back in 2014. So for Tottenham to bring someone who has no experience in the Premier League is a bit strange in my opinion. He didn't do that well in those clubs he managed. Maybe one of the achievements where Marseille qualified for the Champions League, maybe. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I mean, he might do a good job. To bring him also till the end of the season, does he want that as well? He accepted that, but you know, Champions League they're not going to do much really. Let's be honest. And the Premier League is about they just stay up and that's it. Stay up and that's it. If they stay up, then that's fine. But doesn't mean that they should give him the job then. So. Yeah, I mean the main objective for Tottenham is to survive and not get relegated, and then after that, focus on next season and bringing a good manager. Champions League, they're gonna do nothing. Even if they get a good draw on last 16, they're gonna do nothing in the quarterfinal. This Tottenham side is very poor, very poor. Squad, the players in general, very poor. But yeah, its appointment is kind of very strange to me, in my opinion. So, but let's see what happens. Let's move on to today's Champions League games. Galatasaray against Juventus. Juventus, you know, they are obviously it's a match where Spalletti is managing Juventus, and Usman is playing for Galatasaray, which is a reunion between Spalletti and Usman, who obviously worked each other at Napoli when Napoli won their first title in many years, and obviously. Them two and Kvaratskhelia were a huge contributor to the success that Napoli had. With Juventus, they are fighting for top four. They're 1 point behind Roma, a couple of points behind Napoli. So yeah, it's not been a phenomenal season for Juventus, but you know they've got the out of the Coppa Italia, they got the Serie A, and they have the Champions League to play for. And a difficult game for Juventus. However, they'll play at home in the second leg, so they've got that advantage. Galatasaray, they're a good team, especially when they're at home. They're usually difficult to play against, and they showed that against Liverpool and against Atletico Madrid. So, yeah, my prediction, I'm going for a 2-2 draw. Borussia Dortmund against Atlanta, I'm going for a 2-1 win for Borussia Dortmund. Monaco against PSG, I mean PSG should win that game. Monaco, they are absolutely struggling in the French league, 8th in the French league. Yes, they've won, they've been unbeaten in the last couple of games, but a couple of draws in there as well, so it's not enough. But they've been very poor this season, Monaco. The same team lost to Real Madrid 6-1 the weeks before. PSG, they're not been the same. They've not been the same as last season. They've had some blips recently, especially with the last game against Stade Renault. It's another French clubs clash, like last season where Press played against PSG in the playoffs. So and PSG won the Champions League last year. So maybe this time PSG won the Champions League again. Coincidence, yeah. But yeah, PSG should go through. Even if PSG don't win this game and they're away, they should go through easily. Muscovich should go for 2-0 win for PSG. Obviously, it's going to be important to see how the players like Dembele and Kvaratskhelia respond. Considering, yeah, in League A they've not been at their best. In general, they've not been at their best. Not just in League A, also in in the Champions League, where against Newcastle, against Sporting Lisbon, against Atletico Bilbao, where they should have at least won of those games, and that would have had made a better chance for them to qualify for the last 16 automatically. But let's see. But I expect PSG to win this game 2-0. Benfica against Real Madrid, another match between Jose and Mourinho's side and Real Madrid. A big game, obviously for the narrative and for what happened last time between these two. It should be a good an interesting tie of the two matches. And when in this kind of plays, you always need a match where it can make you like excited. For example, like last season where Manchester City against Real Madrid, that made people interested. This is another one. So yeah, Benfica they're unbeaten in the Portuguese league, even though they're 7 points behind Porto. How many? Yeah, they draw 7 games. That's too much. Yeah, I understand. But they've been in good form recently. They're beaten in the Portuguese league. They beat Real Madrid, and I guess Real Madrid they played really well in that game. Whereas Real Madrid they were very poor in that game, and they should have lost by more. After that, they started to improve a little bit, and the results showcase that more even with the wins they had. But also, Real Madrid need to show that they can deal with, setbacks and difficult circumstances. Because I guess Benfica, they were absolutely terrible. And I remember this Real Madrid side have got strength, in depth, and quality to deal with setbacks and problems. There's also no doubt about that. But they should learn for sure. They're going to have to learn from what happened in the last game against them, because I think if they don't learn and don't pay attention to what Benfica could do to you as they did, especially to Real Madrid in the first leg and first match in the group league phase, then I think Real Madrid could lose this game easily. Listen, if Real Madrid are at their best, I think Real Madrid win this game. If Real Madrid are not at their best and Benfica are at their best and they play really well, then Benfica might have a good chance. But obviously, it depends also the quality and the clinical in front of goal, because Benfica could create a lot of chances, but Courtois could make a lot of great saves, and Mbappe could score a couple of goals, and Real Madrid would win the game. So it will be not only about both teams stepping up, but also about taking your chances, because that's what if you want to qualify through the knockouts, it's what counts for. You have to take your chances, not only play really well. So yeah, that's going to be a big game. But obviously, Benfica are at home, which should help for Real Madrid in general, because the second leg they've got the home advantage tie. So yeah, Jose Mourinho made some interesting comments before the game, where he was talking about Real Madrid, and he said that we know what we did to the kings of the Champions League. He's referring to when Benfica beat Real Madrid 4-2 in league phase. He said also they are wounded, and a wounded king is dangerous. Another fantastic Mourinho quote. The guy is the master of quotes, honestly. He also said, is it possible to say no to Real Madrid and Florentino Perez? He said, yes, it is possible. You can say no to them. So, Mourinho's not this kind of guy who's like, because I think a lot of people, when Real Madrid come calling or Florentino Perez, they'll be like, yeah, whatever, Real Madrid. I have to do it. But Mourinho say no, so only he can do it. But but yeah, I mean he's right. Real Madrid, obviously they're going to be wounded. They're going to be looking for revenge to some extent after what happened in the first game. They're going to be looking for revenge, that's for sure, and they're going to make sure what happened over a couple of weeks ago at the Benfica Stadium. They're going to make sure it doesn't happen again over 2 legs. So yeah, but that makes it more interesting. Is that not only Benfica managed by Jose Mourinho who's done a great job in the past, and Real Madrid they've got quality players, but also what happened in the last game, obviously with the goalkeeper scoring that famous winner, a fantastic goal, fantastic header, especially from the goalkeeper, which his name is Tudor. So yeah, he's had a very good season so far, by the way. So yeah, Real Madrid are gonna have some players missing, like Bellingham, like Rodrigo. But I also believe that Real Madrid have strengthened depth to cope with their setbacks, and also they've got quality players. They've got Mustantano, Mbappe, Vinicius, Arda Güler, Tchouaméni, Camavinga. They've got really quality players. Defensively, they're going to have to improve, of course, but with the attackers they have, the midfielders, they should be very good, and the goalkeeper as well, of course. So, yeah. So it will be about taking chances in this game. Obviously, Benfica will try to play and will try to attack and try to create chances, and if they go and lead the game at some point, Mourinho might at some point, with his usual tactics and his old tactics, shut up shop, park the bus, and make it difficult as much as he can for Real Madrid. Because Real Madrid at times can also struggle against teams who play with low blocks. Let's not forget that, even though they've got great players in terms of pace and power and strength, and also in terms of goal scoring abilities like Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Junior. So yeah, but Real Madrid obviously they can't be as bad as they were in the first game against Benfica as weeks ago, because if they were as bad or they play similar to what they did, then similar result could happen as well. They might get away with it because Courtois could save them from a lot of great chances, and Mbappe gets the old goal, and all of a sudden Real Madrid win the game, because that's who they are. Even if they're not at their best, they still have a good ability, great qualities to overcome in difficult situations and win the game. But they should be also aware that the Benfica side they're not scrubs. They're gonna give they're not gonna give it to you. You're gonna have to earn it. So that's what makes it more interesting as well. This game, especially in general. So not only what happened last time, but also in breakdown what the teams need to do, etc. So yeah, my score prediction, I'm going for, I think Real Madrid will win. With the quality they have, I think it will be too much for Benfica. I know Benfica won the first game, but I think Real Madrid will show a much better version, in my opinion. And I think Real Madrid will not be easy, but I think Real Madrid will win this game. I'm pretty sure. I think they're going to be very, very pumped in this game. I'm pretty sure. So I'll go for a 2-0 win for Real Madrid. That's it, guys. Thank you. I wish you have a nice day. See you next time, and goodbye.